There is this one big question in our society that we place so much pressure on. Since the time we are in elementary school, middle school, high school, everyone is always asking us, what are we going to do with our life? And at least for me, it put this weird amount of pressure on having to choose one thing to do for the rest of my life and having to find one thing that I actually enjoy doing enough to do every single day for the rest of my life. And I was so overwhelmed with this question because, first of all, there's not one thing that I want to do for my whole life every single day. But second of all, finding what lights you up and what makes you excited in a society that is teaching us kind of to dull those things down is really hard. And so I kind of just wanted to quickly share with you today how I have gone about finding my passions in life and how I have kind of turned those into what I do with my life. I think going back to that question of what do you want to do for the rest of your life, there's this kind of expectation that it's one thing. Narrowing all of your interests down to one thing is impossible. So I think when it comes to finding our purpose in life or finding what we're supposed to do for the rest of our life, we need to first get rid of the notion that one thing is going to fulfill all of our passions in life. There are so many things that I love to do, which is why I found it hard when I was considering going to college, because I was expected to pick one thing to study, and that one thing I thought would be the thing that I do for the rest of my life. And there was no one thing that I wanted to do, and so I didn't even end up going to college because I was like, I'm going to pay so much money to study one thing when there's so many things I want to learn, so many things I want to do. And at that point, I felt like I didn't even know what I liked to do because I had gotten so sucked into the routine of just going to school, coming home, watching TV, hanging out with friends, and like never exploring the interests that I felt called to. And I think with this, it dulled a sense of purpose within me because I felt like I was living the motions every day and not having this like rich purpose, this rich spark in my life. You can choose one thing to do as a career or a job. And in fact, that's a lot of the times how getting a job works is you pick one thing. But being open to changing that or shifting that as you grow up and you yourself change is a good thing. But continue to nurture your own interests and excitements on the side of it. Sometimes we are meant to do the same career for our entire life. And sometimes we're not. Either way, finding the one that works best for you is the most important thing. And being open to change as it comes is one of the best things that you can do for yourself. And so throwing away the notion that it has to be one thing is so important because there's so many things that I love in my life that I'm now exploring and now turning into careers in their own little ways. And also honoring the fact that there are so many dimensions to it has opened up so many parts of myself as well. There's also something that I'd like to quickly share before I go on too about, and I've talked about this in a video before, but this grind of finding your purpose or having purpose in life sometimes overconsumes the experience of living life. I think sometimes we're so focused on the big things that we do in life and all of these like momentous things and our big purpose that we forget that our purpose also lies within every moment of every day. And just like the simple joy of being alive and experiencing life is so important. And having a purpose to do with your life is part of that joy of life. But when you only have one, life feels unbalanced. If you only have that like day-to-day life, enjoying life, you feel like there's like a missing potential with your life. But if you only have that potential and you work hard every single day to get towards it, you don't live your life to the fullest because you're missing out on all of those beautiful little moments in between. And so super important thing to just keep in mind if you're going through the question of what do I do with my life and placing a lot of importance on that, knowing that your beautiful experience of life doesn't just come from those big moments or those achievements. It comes from just like the daily love of living life and breathing air and sitting in the sun and just like experiencing life to the fullest. Getting back to it, after coming to the conclusion that there's not one thing that you have to pick to do for the rest of your life, we also come to this question of, well, what do I love? What am I passionate about? Because like I said, for me, I'd gotten so stuck in the mundane life of just like going to school, coming home, eating, exercising, hanging out with friends, watching a lot of TV, that there was no spark, there was no passion. And it was hard for me to think about what I loved to do because it had been so long since I'd given myself the freedom to do what I loved. And I'd like to quote my good friend Olivia on this, because about a year ago, I was still kind of like in that part of my mind where I was thinking about, well, what is my passion? What am I supposed to do with my life? Like, what is my big thing? How come I haven't figured it out yet? I'm 20. And my friend Olivia was kind of going through the same process as well. And she figured it out. She figured out something that she was passionate about. And so she said to me, to figure that out, she realized that if you're looking to find your purpose in life, if you're looking to find the things that you're passionate about, think about the things that you loved doing as a child. The things that you like absolutely loved doing and filled you up with passion and purpose before you had the world like try and make you serious and try and put you into one mold. What were the things that ignited you? For me, when she posed that question to me of like, what did I love doing as a child? I really thought about it, and I was like, since I have been very young, since I've had access to like a camera and a computer, I have loved making videos. When I was in middle school, like I would just hang out by myself in my basement. I bought a green screen. I was just making videos for fun and not even putting them on the internet. Just like loving making videos. But not only that, I also had a passion for cooking, and I had a passion for art. I had passion for being outside. I had passion for being alone. I had a passion for building things and being crafty and fixing problems. And like, there were so many things that ignited me when I was younger. And I realized that as I'd grown, I had let those things drop away and replaced them with television and just like things that distracted me every day. And it was no wonder why I felt like there was no passion or purpose in my life. It was because I had gotten rid of all of the things that made me feel passionate and purposeful. And there's another quote too, not sure exactly where it comes from, but I've heard someone reference that it's something that's said a lot in shamanism. But when someone comes to a shaman and they are so just like depressed and feel like life is dull, one of the first questions that the shaman will ask them is, when's the last time that you danced? And when I heard that, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so true. Like, as we grow up, we dull the parts of ourselves that love to feel free and fluid, and even just like dancing like it's nobody's business, which I've included into my morning routine now. Like, I put on my headphones and I just like go at it. Remembering that life is meant to feel good. It's meant to feel free and fluid, and it's remembering what ignites us. Maybe when you were a kid, you loved to sing, or you loved to draw, you love to play piano, and now you're at your age of being an adult or being a teenager or whatever, and you've come to this realization of like, life feels dull, life feels purposeless. Like, why am I here? When's the last time you drew? When's the last time you played piano? When's the last time that you did something that felt good just because it felt really authentically good to you? Remembering that as we get older, we are not supposed to dull the things that make us feel alive. We are supposed to ignite those. We're supposed to grow into those. We're supposed to explore those things. And so if you're looking for your purpose in life, or you're looking for the thing that you're supposed to do for the rest of your life, why don't you start by doing things that actually make you feel good, actually inspire you? Because life is meant to be lived. And those little things that we did when we were a child, just for fun, there's a reason why we love doing those things. There's a reason why when you go back to doing them, they make you feel alive again. They make you feel like a kid again. Because feeling like a kid doesn't mean feeling unintelligent or distracted. Feeling like a kid means feeling alive without the pressure of having to be an adult, having to make money, having to do this, having to be stressed. Feeling like a kid again is being able to release everything but what is currently in this moment right now. And so I would encourage you to just sit with that and really feel into, what did I love doing when I was a child? What made me feel so good that I could just get lost in for hours? Those little moments where we could absolutely fully invested in and lost in the beauty of what we're doing, that is where purpose and passion comes from. And that is where life becomes this beautiful spark of energy and brightness. And yeah, it's pretty exciting that we get to reconnect to those things. Lots of gratitude to my friend Olivia bringing that mind state into my life. It's something that I never really thought about. And for her thing was dancing. She realized that like she hadn't danced in so long, and like when she dances, it makes her feel alive. And like she's now turning that into a career, which is really cool. She actually has a YouTube channel too, which you can look into if you're interested, but I'll link it down below. But yeah, life is meant to feel good. It's meant to feel good. Even this year when things are tough, really tough for a lot of people, finding that spark again, that joy again, makes everything so much richer. And I hope that you can find that within you. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that you're doing well and taking care of yourself. I hope that in every moment you are returning to the excitement of what it feels like to be alive and returning to what makes you feel authentically good, because you deserve to live a life that feels good, period. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day today.